What up, what up? Welcome to my channel where we're doing music covers, original music, album reviews, song reviews, reactions, tier lists, whatever the day calls for. If you like what you see here, please subscribe to the channel. If you have content on here, I will subscribe to you as well. I am all about supporting up-and-comers on here. My original music at this point can be found at robcary.bandcamp.com. I have one album to my name right now. It's called Communication. It is quite a few years old now. It's about 8 years old now. It's been that long since I've come out with any new music, but I'm in the studio working on the follow-up to that album. It's called Ugly Living, and the latest single to promote that album finally came out on September 20th. It's called Save My Life Again. It's here on the channel. Anybody who's taken the time out of their day to check it out, I'm extremely appreciative. All the feedback I've received for it has been extremely positive. If you've heard my first album and thought it was too heavy or it's too soft, like, you're going to be hearing both of those things on steroids here. This is going to be the heaviest thing I've ever done, the most experimental thing I've ever done, and when it comes to pushing my own limits as a songwriter, no holds barred here with this one. And when this album is finally done, I think I'm going to do like a bundle where I'm going to repackage the first album and put it in with the second album for free. Like, if you get the first like 20 or so copies, like I got plans to make physical copies for everything here, and it's all happening. And the wheels haven't stopped turning there either. We got the drum tracks done for the opening track, which will be the next single. It's called Premeditated. And there's just been so much on this channel that I've wanted to do, and the time just hasn't been there. It's been almost 2 weeks since I've uploaded any content, and I actually had a couple reactions that I started working on, and by time I had any downtime to finish them, so much time had gone by that by the time I uploaded it, the songs have been out for so long that I don't know if anybody would have really watched them. I smell pussy, it's so old dirt. Get the tripping, this is where my shipping could go. Yeah.
You go to the boardwalk without a reminder in the waves. Drive up to Woodstock and know that you won't get in my way. Listen to Matchbox and won't let the day waste away while I'm thinking about you again. But now it's 3 a.m.
So it would have kind of been like a waste of time. So we're just going back to the drawing board here. With being like a single dad, working on this album, recording an album, working a full-time job, and always like just trying to perfect my chops as a guitarist, as a singer, as a bassist. Like, when you're a one-man band, you can't afford to get rusty at anything, like, it's just been a very busy time. But just know that no matter how long time goes by without any new content being uploaded here, I'm not going anywhere, and any chance I do have to do something on this channel, I'm going to do. So we're going back to the drawing board here, and we're going to check out this brand new track from Fit for an Autopsy called Lower Purpose. In addition to all my other responsibilities, another thing I've been really trying to focus on lately is like my body and like fitness and stuff. And I know I'm not really like a fat guy or anything, but when you get to be around the age that I'm getting to, you can't eat whatever you want anymore. I'm actually on a fast today. I try to do intermittent fasting like 2 days a week. And right now, today, it's Sunday morning. It's one of those days where I'm on a fast. And right now, all I'm thinking of is pizza and wings and beer and shit. Like, it's definitely a discipline. I have like a lot of just the basic necessary gym things here at the house. I got barbells, I got dumbbells, I got a weight bench, I got a really nice pull-up bar here. Even with it being here at the house, sometimes it's still hard to like get the motivation to push yourself and take care of your body. And it's like, when you have the kind of build that I have, and I don't want to get on too much of a tangent here, I know we need to get to this track here, this Fit for an Autopsy track, but when you have the kind of build that I have, it's not so much how many pounds you have, what you see when you look on the scale. It's how you wear your weight, And my metabolism can be a bit of a bitch sometimes. So, that's another thing that's just been kind of on my mind, and something I've been spending a lot of my time doing. Like, there just has not been enough content on this channel, especially with how much music has come out. So the last Fit for an Autopsy album, I liked it a lot. It was called Oh, What the Future Holds, and it had one particular track that really stood out to me called a higher level of hate. And it had this really cool tribal drum intro, and it led into like just amazing riffs, amazing vocals. I know Will Putney is a founding member of this band. He's a very well liked producer. He produced one of my favorite albums, Structures Divided By, and he's one of those producers that really knows how to crank up the intensity. Sometimes to a fault. Like he's in a super group called End, and the way he produced that album I thought was a bit too much, and he kept me from kind of going back to it very often. But I've heard enough great music from these guys that I'm definitely interested in what's coming next. And what's coming next is an album. I know there's a full-length album. I'm blanking on the name of it right now. They've released a couple songs I know already from this album. I haven't heard any of them. I'm just going into what they're doing right now with this one. So let's not waste any more time here. Let's get into the brand new Fit for an Autopsy song, Lower Purpose. Let's go. One thing that I thought was really cool about the last Fit for an Autopsy album, Oh What the Future Holds, is even though it's bringing more of an upbeat deathcore flavor, it still has this bleak atmosphere that reminds me of the Opeth album Still Life. Like, I'm not really a diehard fan of Opeth anymore, and the way they write songs is such like an antithesis to the way that I write songs. But there's just something about the vibe of that last Fit for an Autopsy album that reminds me of Opeth's Still Life. Like, it sounds nothing like it, but it just has that similar bleak feeling to it. And the album covers aren't similar, but if you put them back to back, you can still, I don't know if it's just me, but you can still kind of like see a similar vibe here. I thought that album was pretty good. Oh, What the Future Holds, I would give it like an 8 out of 10 as a whole. I think there are certain tracks on that album that carried it, whereas a lot of tracks were kind of forgettable too. It was like kind of like a mixed bag with some really stellar tracks carrying the weight of that album on its back. This song, I would say, is way more mid than anything on that album. I was just like, the feeling I hate having when listening to a metalcore or a deathcore band when it's not even like bad. Because when something is bad, you kind of like react to how bad it is. I hate when you hear something that isn't so bad you cringe, but it isn't so great that you're blown away. It just sits in the middle, and in 5 minutes you're going to forget about it. And I hate saying it, but that's what this was. I'm giving this a 5 out of 10. Despite what they're talking about lyrically here, it's just presented in such a bland way. I think it's better to be terrible than mid. The worst thing you can be is mid. Like when it comes to making my own music, that's one thing I never want to be considered. It's just mid. It was a 5 out of 10 thing that didn't make me cringe, but didn't make me blown away. I just forgot about it. That's like the worst thing that you can do. This song is just so in the middle. That's like what I look for the least, If a band is trying to make some kind of statement and it ends up being done in this super cringe matter, like that sucks. But at least you remember it. I don't remember anything about this, man. I really don't. That's 3 listens in. I think these guys could do way better than this. And I can't say I heard anything in this that would say it's like terrible either, or I would like take it down below the 5. It's just right in the middle. I think some of, but not all of, but some of these newer-ish deathcore bands struggle to have something to say and struggle to have something in their message, in their songwriting, and in their passion where the heaviness they're trying to bring justifies it all. Like, think about the new Knocked Loose album. The new Knocked Loose album, I don't know where it's going to sit in my top 10 ratings, but it's going to be at least in the top 3. Everything about that album. There's not a single thing that I'm going to forget about with that album. There's so much to say. The lyrics are great. All the vocals are so impassioned. Every single chug, melody, everything about that fucking album was so meticulously crafted, extremely memorable, and you can just tell that it's not just being done for the sake of doing it. With this one, I feel like it is being done for the sake of doing it. I don't just want to hear a band being heavy. Like, okay, like, cool, like, you're heavy, but why? 5 out of 10. Very mid, and I hope for better things moving forward with this band. That's all I can really say. And until next time, thanks for watching.